Hello and welcome back to the Canon booth here at Photokina 2018 for the last of our live streams of the day. But of course, last does not mean least, and I'm delighted to be joined here in the media centre by internationally renowned photographer, Canon ambassador Thorsten Milse. Torsten, thanks for joining us. Torsten, if you haven't come across his work before, then he travels extensively. He's been to North Pole, South Pole and everywhere in between. Recently come off a couple of expeditions to the Alps and also to Madagascar, where, Torsten, correct me if I'm wrong, you were documenting over 100 different varieties of lemur.
Yeah, the lemurs are really fantastic. They're endemic animals in Madagascar. That was my idea for storytelling, especially the ringtail lemurs and the indris.
And tell me about Madagascar, particularly as a wildlife photographer. It's a very rich location just because, you know, the fact it's a massive island and kind of sealed off in many ways from the nature that surrounds it.
Yeah, it is the fourth biggest island in the world. It's a really massive forest around, rainforest, dry forest, and 100 different lemurs are living in different forests. That's really especially. There's some really hot spots on Madagascar, and it's quite difficult to go there and find it. I have some biologists or some guides that find these places before I go there, and that's the beginning of the organization. And then I go for 2016 was the first trip to this there.
I think the thing that must be exciting, certainly would be for me, is the sense of genuine exploration, genuine discovery, because you're treading paths, seeing things that very few other photographers, other people full stop, may well have seen, and you've got the opportunity to tell those stories.
Yeah, I need a story behind the normal places. That is, right now it is quite difficult to find a really quiet place in the world. All is open for everything, but in the really deep forest, rainforest, also you got it with a tent, or and you walk 1 to 3 days and find some animals. That is a different world. It is far away from any logistic, from any lodges, and that is my favorite places, where the animals are really curious, normal, not so many tourists there, and it's a different world, and I find some good photos and also for some movies.
And the lemurs were the star of the show, I guess. How were they to, you know, without humans around you, how were the lemurs as buddies to go and photograph?
Yeah, the lemurs are really fine. They have really great eyes. I love it. And they're working on a daytime. It's only one lemur working in nighttime, called I. He's a really special guy that looks between, I don't know, a Tenrec, Dracula and Lima. It's a really crazy animal, but most of these guys are working on a daytime. They're looking for food or going to the beach area and jumping around or so. That's fantastic for filming and take photos into the rainforest. Sometimes it's really dark inside and you use ISO 6400 or so, really special lenses with open aperture or 1DX Mark II or so. You can use higher ISO range and so, but it is nice, these guys doing everything and are really curious.
Speaking of curious animals, let's move on to another recent trip of yours that took place, an epic trip in the Alps. I saw this presentation on the Spotlight stage yesterday. You made some new friends in the Alps, even more curious animals there. Tell me about the marmots.
Yeah, the marmots are really curious. Okay, they are feeding for a long time there. They are coming really close. That's it's normal for all people there, but sometimes it is difficult to take a good shot with a telephoto lens. They are too close. Our new 600 has the closest focusing distance about 4.20 meters. That's the point. And when it's a mammoth jumping in a sunhood, you have no chance for a photo. That looks great, but it's difficult to take a good photo from a mammoth.
Right, so let's hold it there for a second, because you just picked up with a single hand and made it look very, very easy indeed, this 600mm f4 new lens from Canon, and that was one of the things that you went over to the Alps to test out, wasn't it? How was your experience of using this to get the shots of these marmots?
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a new brand lens. It's 1 kilogram less. That's perfect. You can handle this lens perfectly, and it's easy to work in the Alps. That is altitude about 2,500, 3,000 meter, and your breath is a little bit less. Yeah? It's easy to handle with a lightweight. It's a lightweight world's lightweight 600 in the world. That's fantastic.
Can I go in?
You can try it, huh?
Yeah, it's really nicely weighted as well, but it is incredibly.
It's your iPad, huh? No, it's fantastic to work. It's a high quality lens, and for moving subjects, the autofocus is much faster. I'm really impressed about the new lens.
One of the images from your presentation that struck me the most was, you can see marmots get really intimate with them when they're on a mountain somewhere on the other side of the Alps. However, they were crawling inside this, weren't they? And that's one of the most endearing images, because you had somebody taking shots of you taking the shots. I thought that was a really beautiful moment. I'm sure you did too.
Yes, sometimes that is what I say, that the animals are really curious. But this mammoth was a really fat mammoth, and going in our sunhood and say, oh, coming out. And in the end of the trip, we have an insured young marmot. They was also running in, but it's coming from a behavior. The marmots are going into the den. As they know, they're protected, but sometimes they are curious and check it. How is it inside? But it's a nice moment. Not take a good photo for me, but it is a nice making of shot.
Absolutely. Well, listen, Torsten, thank you very much for taking some time out to join us here in the Media Centre, and indeed sharing your journeys, your images from your travels around the world with visitors to the Canon booth here at Photokina 2018. That is all for day 2 here at the show, but we'll be doing it all over again tomorrow. Tomorrow's a long day. Doors open at 10 a.m. all the way through to 9 a.m. So make your way down here, chat with Torsten, chat with the other Canon ambassadors, and hopefully we'll see you on the show floor too. But for now, have a great night. Bye-bye.
Thank you.